When the world grows quiet, when the noise fades, when the shadows stretch long across your walls, there is a secret waiting for you in the night. Most people close their eyes and escape into sleep. They surrender without knowing that the final moments before slumber are the most powerful, the most alive, the most transformative. Night is not merely the end of the day. Night is the doorway to your future. The thoughts you hold, the emotions you feed, the intentions you whisper in the darkness, they slip into the soil of your mind, and by morning, they begin to bloom as your reality. What you allow yourself to carry into sleep becomes the architect of your destiny. Night is not an ending, but the doorway to your future. Most people mistake the night for a closing chapter, a point of rest where the body collapses and the mind drifts without direction. They see it as the conclusion of their effort, the final punctuation of the day's story. But night is not simply darkness swallowing the light. It is the fertile space in which new beginnings are conceived. The truth is that the night holds more power than the morning, because the morning only delivers what the night has planted. If you look closely, you will see that every day you have lived is a harvest of what you carried into sleep the night before. When you lie down at night, your mind does not stop working. Your thoughts linger, your emotions echo, and your spirit either rests in peace or wrestles in turmoil. These impressions sink into the subconscious, where they continue weaving reality long after you have drifted away. This is why the night is not just about rest. It is a sacred opening, a silent invitation to shape what comes next. If you treat night as an ending, you lose its magic. But if you treat it as a doorway, you step into a hidden world of transformation. The stillness of the night carries a weight that the noise of the day can never hold. During the day, distractions dominate, conversations, obligations, and the rush of tasks leave little room to direct your deeper self. But when the world sleeps, when the streets are quiet, and the only sound is your breath, something remarkable happens. You finally hear yourself. This inner voice, often buried under the weight of business, rises in the silence of the night. It is in these moments that your truest desires, your most honest fears, and your clearest visions of the future are revealed. Ignoring this voice is ignoring your own destiny. The night is a bridge. On one side is everything you have experienced, the mistakes, the achievements, the wounds, the lessons. On the other side is the unformed future, waiting to be shaped. Standing on this bridge, you carry the power to decide what you take across and what you leave behind. If you carry resentment, fear, and bitterness, those weights will follow you into tomorrow. But if you cross with gratitude, clarity, and forgiveness, the future greets you with open arms. Every night gives you this chance to choose again, to cleanse yourself of what no longer serves you, and to set a new tone for what is to come. Think of night not as the closing of a book, but as the writing of its most important chapter. The quiet hours are where destiny is negotiated. It is in the thoughts you repeat to yourself, the emotions you allow to linger, and the visions you rehearse that your future takes form. People underestimate this power because they think destiny is some force outside of them, something written in the stars or locked away in the hands of fate. But in reality, destiny whispers in the silence of your night. It waits for you to speak, to release, to affirm, to plant the seeds of tomorrow with intention. The body may rest, but the mind travels. The spirit is not dormant. It is absorbing, creating, transforming. You have the choice every night to surrender to chaos or to direct your energy with purpose. This is why cultures across history have seen the night as sacred, a time for prayer, reflection, or meditation. They understood that the veil between the seen and unseen grows thin when the world grows silent, and in that silence lies the power to alter the course of life. The thoughts you sleep with shape the reality you wake into. The mind is like fertile soil, always receiving seeds, whether you choose them or not. During the day, countless impressions enter through your senses. Words spoken to you, images you see, emotions you feel, and stories you tell yourself. But it is at night, in the quiet surrender to sleep, that these impressions sink deeper, taking root in the subconscious, where they grow into tomorrow's experiences. What you allow yourself to carry into sleep is not harmless background noise. It is the blueprint of your future. If you lie in bed with fear, replaying mistakes and imagining worst-case scenarios, your subconscious accepts that fear as instruction. It begins to search for ways to confirm it, to bring into reality what the mind rehearses so vividly. The body responds as if the danger is already present, and you wake up carrying heaviness you cannot explain. On the other hand, if you fall asleep with gratitude, with visions of hope, or with affirmations of your strength, your subconscious treats these as truths already alive within you. It works silently through the night to align your thoughts, your emotions, and even your actions with that energy. By the time you wake, you find yourself drawn toward opportunities and ideas that match the seeds you planted before sleep. Science has shown that the brain does not shut down during rest. It organizes, processes, and strengthens connections. Memories are stored, lessons are integrated, and patterns are reinforced. This means the final thoughts you hold before surrendering to sleep are rehearsed again and again while you rest. If those thoughts are destructive, they become stronger. If they are empowering, they become unshakable. Sleep is not just a physical act of rest, it is a continuation of your inner dialogue, magnified and absorbed until it shapes who you become. Imagine two people ending their day. One scrolls through endless negativity, absorbing anger and comparison, then closes their eyes filled with restlessness. Another sits quietly, reflecting on even one small blessing, breathing slowly, releasing tension, and setting an intention for tomorrow. When morning comes, their realities are not the same. The first wakes with fatigue, their mind restless and foggy, already tuned to stress. The second rises with a sense of calm, prepared to notice opportunities, and attuned to gratitude. The difference is not luck, it is the quiet power of what each chose to hold in their thoughts before sleep. The ritual of preparing your mind for rest is not a luxury, it is a necessity if you wish to shape your destiny with intention. It can be as simple as closing your eyes and repeating a single empowering sentence until you drift away, or as profound as visualizing your life the way you wish it to be until it feels real within you. These final moments of wakefulness are like the brush strokes on the canvas of your future. The more consciously you paint them, the more vivid your reality becomes. The subconscious does not argue, it does not question, it only accepts. This is why it is dangerous to go to sleep rehearsing pain or replaying failure. The mind cannot tell the difference between what is vividly imagined and what is truly lived, so it continues the story you give it. You are, without realizing, instructing it to create more of what you least want. But when you give it visions of peace, strength, abundance, or joy, it receives them as orders to bring into your life. What you choose to plant in those quiet moments before sleep becomes the harvest you encounter when the sun rises again. Release anger and heaviness before closing your eyes. The body may rest when you lie down, but the weight of emotions does not dissolve on its own. Whatever you carry within yourself at night follows you into the landscape of dreams, and then quietly into the dawn of a new day. Anger, resentment, regret, and bitterness are like stones placed on your chest. They do not disappear with sleep. They simply press deeper into your subconscious until they shape your moods, your thoughts, and your choices without you even realizing. This is why the night demands a ritual of release, a conscious act of laying down the burdens you were never meant to hold forever. When you keep anger locked inside, it multiplies. It revisits you in restless tossing, in dreams that leave you unsettled, in the tightness of your chest when you awaken. The night becomes a battlefield instead of a sanctuary. Sleep, which was meant to heal you, instead deepens the wound. But when you release anger, When you decide that the person who wronged you or the circumstance that hurt you no longer deserves the rent, free space in your heart, then you step into freedom. Release is not about forgetting, nor is it about pretending the pain never happened. Release is the conscious choice not to carry yesterday's poison into tomorrow's sunrise. Heaviness does not always come from anger alone. Sometimes it is the accumulation of small disappointments, silent frustrations, or unspoken words that were never expressed. These linger in the mind, wrapping around you like invisible chains. If left unattended, they begin to convince you that life is heavier than it truly is, that joy is out of reach, that the future is closed. To release heaviness at night is to remember that the day has ended, and with it, the power of its burdens. You are not required to solve every problem before you sleep. You are only required to lay them down, if only for the hours of rest, so that your spirit can breathe again. There are countless ways to release, and each is a kind of ritual in itself. Some choose to write their thoughts on paper, emptying the mind of the noise so it does not follow them into sleep. Others close their eyes, take slow breaths, and imagine exhaling all tension, letting each sigh carry away the frustrations that tried to cling to them. Some whisper prayers of forgiveness, not because the other deserves it, but because they themselves deserve peace. Others simply speak out loud, telling the night what they no longer wish to hold, as if declaring it frees them from its grip. The method matters less than the intention. The point is to close your eyes free, not chained. There is power in understanding that release is not weakness. Many fear that letting go of anger or heaviness means surrendering control or allowing others to escape accountability. In truth, holding on keeps you prisoner, while release hands you back your freedom. Anger consumes energy, distorts perspective, and keeps you tethered to moments that no longer exist. Releasing it does not absolve anyone else. It absolves you. It returns your mind to clarity, your heart to openness, and your night to rest. Imagine lying down each night unburdened, the heart lighter, the breath deeper, the mind uncluttered. Sleep becomes what it was always intended to be, a sacred reset, a gentle preparation for the life you are building. Without anger, your dreams are not prisons, but places of vision. Without heaviness, your mornings are not battles, but beginnings. Each night you release, you step closer to a destiny not chained to the weight of yesterday, but open to the possibilities of tomorrow. Forgiveness, gratitude, and intention are the pillars of transformation. These three elements are not abstract ideals, but living practices that shape the way your spirit enters rest and how your life unfolds after it. They act as keys that unlock the deeper chambers of peace, strength, and renewal that the night offers. Without them, the darkness may be nothing more than an escape. With them, it becomes a sanctuary where tomorrow is created. Forgiveness is the first pillar, and it is often the most difficult. To forgive at night is to refuse to drag the chains of past pain into the next sunrise. Many lie down with grudges, their hearts replaying words spoken, betrayals felt, or wounds inflicted. This poisons sleep, steals rest, and keeps the spirit imprisoned in cycles that repeat again and again. But when you choose to forgive before closing your eyes, you clear the soil of your inner world. You say to yourself, I will not let this hurt define the night or dictate my tomorrow. Forgiveness is not about excusing another's actions, but about releasing their hold on your energy. It is the cleansing rain that washes away bitterness, making space for something new to grow. Gratitude is the second pillar, the water that nourishes whatever seeds you plant in the subconscious. Even in the most difficult days, there are fragments of light, moments of kindness, small victories, breaths of life itself. When you close your eyes with gratitude, you amplify these fragments. You tell your mind and spirit to focus not on scarcity, but on abundance, not on what is broken, but on what still shines. Gratitude shifts perception, and perception shapes experience. A single thought of thankfulness before sleep can expand into waves of joy by morning. attracting more reasons to be thankful. Gratitude is the language through which the heart whispers to the universe, I see the blessings, and I am ready for more. Intention is the third pillar, the sunlight in the darkness, guiding the subconscious toward creation. The mind does not sleep idly, it processes, organizes, and weaves patterns, even when you are unaware. By setting a clear intention before you rest, you direct this silent power. It can be as simple as telling yourself, tomorrow I will meet challenges with calm, or as expansive as visualizing the life you wish to live, until you feel it within your bones. Intention is the seed planted in the soil of the subconscious, and night is the time when this seed takes root. Without intention, sleep is directionless. With intention, sleep becomes a bridge between who you are and who you are becoming. When these three pillars stand together, they create a structure strong enough to hold transformation. Forgiveness clears away what weakens you, gratitude fills you with energy and perspective, and intention points you forward. Each night becomes a ritual not of ending, but of preparation. You no longer enter sleep as someone carrying the day's chaos, but as someone shaping the dawn with deliberate care. It is through this practice that destiny bends, not by force or luck, but by the quiet alignment of the inner world with the higher path awaiting you. Night rituals plant the seeds that mornings bring to life. Every evening, whether you are aware of it or not, you are sowing something into the soil of your subconscious. What you do, what you think, what you feel before sleep does not vanish into the air. It settles within you, silently germinating until it shows itself in the hours and days ahead. Just as a farmer carefully selects seeds to place in the earth, you too are a cultivator of your inner field. But unlike the farmer who sees the soil, the seeds you plant are invisible, growing quietly while you dream. When morning comes, the harvest begins, and you find yourself living in the results of what you unknowingly planted the night before. The truth is that the mind is most impressionable in the moments before sleep. It is open, softened by the slowing of the body and the quieting of the outside world. Whatever images, words, or emotions you feed it at this time seep deeply into the subconscious, where they are not judged or questioned, but simply accepted. This is why ending the day with worry, anger, or self-doubt is so damaging. It is like planting weeds that spread quickly, overtaking the garden of your mind. But ending the day with gratitude, clarity, and vision is like planting strong, vibrant seeds that blossom into opportunities, strength, and peace. The subconscious does not distinguish between imagination and reality. It nurtures what it is given. That is why rituals before sleep hold extraordinary power. A ritual can be simple and deeply personal. It may be taking a few moments to breathe deeply, letting the weight of the day fall away with each exhale. It may be writing down 3 things you are thankful for, no matter how small, and allowing those images to be the last ones you carry into the night. It may be visualizing the life you wish to live, feeling its presence as if it is already real, and letting that feeling accompany you into dreams. These actions may seem small, but their repetition turns them into seeds planted consistently, which in time become forests of transformation. The beauty of night rituals is that they are not bound by grand gestures or long hours. They are defined by consistency and intention. Even a single, quiet affirmation repeated before sleep can carry enough power to shift the tone of your morning and the direction of your day. Over time, the effects compound. Just as a garden flourishes not from a single watering, but from daily care, so too does your destiny flourish when night after night you sow thoughts, emotions, and visions that align with the life you seek. It is important to understand that seeds do not sprout immediately. A farmer does not plant at dusk and expect fruit by dawn. The same is true for the rituals of the night. You may not see change after one attempt, but with patience and persistence, you will notice mornings beginning to feel lighter, choices becoming clearer, and opportunities appearing that once seemed hidden. The work is subtle but profound, for transformation often begins in the unseen before it emerges into the visible. Every sunrise is a mirror reflecting the seeds of the previous night. If you fell asleep restless, you wake carrying restlessness. If you surrendered with peace, you rise in peace. If you set intention, the day bends to meet it. This is not magic, but the natural rhythm of the human spirit in harmony with itself. Night gives you the chance to prepare the soil, to choose the seeds, and to trust that morning will reveal the life you are cultivating. To honor this cycle is to take command of your own becoming, recognizing that destiny does not strike suddenly, but grows gently, night after night, seed after seed, ritual after ritual. Destiny is shaped in silence, in the unseen moments before sleep. The world often teaches us to chase loudly, to build with force, to strive with visible effort. Yet the most powerful forces do not announce themselves with noise. Seeds grow in the dark, rivers carve stone over centuries without sound, stars burn in silence across the infinite sky. In the same way, your destiny is not determined only by the grand choices you make in the daylight, but by the quiet decisions, the unseen thoughts, the gentle rituals you allow in the stillness of night. It is in those sacred moments, when you are alone with yourself and no one else is watching, that the future begins to take its shape. Silence at night is not emptiness but fullness. It is a space where the noise of the world no longer demands your attention, where the masks you wear during the day are set aside and you are left only with your truest self. In this silence, you have the chance to listen to what often goes unheard, the whisper of your own intuition, the guidance of your inner wisdom, the pulse of desires that are easily drowned by distraction. To sit in silence before sleep, even for a few moments, is to tune into this deeper current. It is in these moments that clarity arises, revealing what really matters and what is ready to be left behind. The unseen moments before sleep are powerful because they bypass the surface level of the mind. When you slow your breathing, when you quiet your thoughts, when you surrender the day, you enter the threshold between wakefulness and dreams. This threshold is fertile ground for transformation. The thoughts and images you bring into this space slip past the guard